If Queensland's 50-cent fares were going to cover the total cost of the Cross River Rail project, there would need to be 34 billion trips taken on the new rail line. According to Queensland Rail's latest financial report, 47.25 million passenger trips were taken on the SEQ network in the last financial year. If that many trips were taken on just the Cross River Rail line, it would take over 623 years to recoup the cost. Brisbane's Cross River Rail is starting to sound more like Cross River Fail. The Queensland State Government's Transport Minister, Brent Mickelberg, has revealed that the former Labor government's original price of $5.4 billion has blown out to at least $17 billion. Absolutely astronomical. And it was originally set to open in 2025, then pushed back to 2026, and as revealed by Mickelberg, now won't be ready to take passengers until at least 2029. So let's take a look at what's actually blown out and see if there's any way to get things back on track. I'm Mel Pikos, and today we're talking tactics. What is the Cross River Rail? I've made a full video talking about the Cross River Rail project, and I've linked it in the description down below, but here's a quick refresher. Cross River Rail is a new rail line in Brisbane stretching 10.2 kilometres from Dutton Park to Bowen Hills, and will include a 5.9 kilometre twin tunnel section under the Brisbane River and the CBD. This will be the second rail river crossing for the CBD and aims to reduce congestion at the bottleneck at the Merivale Bridge. There will be 4 new stations built at Boggo Road, Woolloongabba, Albert Street and Roma Street, and 8 existing stations will be upgraded. The exhibition station is one of these and will be opened year-round instead of only during the Ekka. There will also be 3 new Gold Coast stations at Pimpama, Merrimack and Hope Island. The new line aims to reduce journey times for commuters, increase capacity and reliability for current rail users, present opportunities for economic development and urban renewal in areas serviced by the new line, and be a catalyst for wider rail improvements around Brisbane and southeast Queensland. So that was the plan. Where are we now? The cost blowouts. A statement from Queensland Transport Minister Brent Mickelberg said Labor promised that Cross River Rail would be delivered with a budget of $5.4 billion and a completion date of 2024. The QLD Government has uncovered the true cost of the rail project is likely to exceed $17 billion and may not be complete until 2029. I've said before that cost blowouts on construction projects, especially massive infrastructure projects like this, are inevitable. They happen on every job, but this is a blowout of more than 3 times the price, over $11.5 billion. That's just insane. And not to mention the completion date being pushed back by 5 years. So where did all these extra costs come from?
Labor trying to use smoke and mirrors to hide the true state of affairs when it comes to big projects like Cross River Rail.
In the statement, Mickelberg said that Labor has spent years hiding the real cost by spreading it across multiple separate budget line items. From what I understand, the previous government costed the project based on just one component of the project, the build. And in that statement, that alone has had a cost blowout from $5.4 billion to $10.5 billion. Then there's another $5 billion to cover integration works, connecting the tunnel with the existing rail network, stabling to park the trains, a new signalling system, buses to carry passengers while stations and tracks are being built, and additional maintenance equipment. Then there's another $1.5 billion due to the project running late and contractor claims. The Shadow Treasurer, Shannon Fentiman, responded to claims.
The Crisafulli regime has decided to include the cost of maintenance for the life of an asset in the cost to build the asset. It is a world first.
The notion that you would not include maintenance on a major project like this is simply farcical.
The entire transport industry has known about these major cost blowouts for a long time. It's no secret that the editor of the Courier Mail is very close friends with Stephen Miles. The journalism from the Courier Mail has not been fair and balanced. For a long time, they have turned a blind eye to these cost blowouts, and now it's all coming out. Another point of contention mentioned in the statement is that there's been significant delays due to 140 lost workdays as a result of industrial action under Labor's best practice industry conditions, or BPIC. 140 days of lost work in a single year, that's around about 55% of working days in a given year. When are they actually working? No wonder why the project has 3x in cost. As you might know from previous videos, I am not a fan of the CFMEU and their militant tactics. And while the Cross River Rail project does not fall under the BPIC policy, as it predated the implementation of it, the CFMEU seems to have done all it can to stall and delay the project in order to extract from it as much cash as it can. This means that they've stolen from you and I, the taxpayers, that are paying for all these cost blowouts. And you know what? I'm looking forward to reading all the comments from the CFMEU trolls trying to defend their morally bankrupt rip-off scheme. CPB versus the CFMEU. CPB Contractors, the principal company managing the Cross River Rail project, is currently engaged in an ongoing dispute with the CFMEU. The union has launched industrial actions under the guise of worker safety and pay concerns, but their approach has been anything but constructive. The CFMEU claims their strikes are aimed at improving safety protocols, wages, and working conditions. They are demanding new measures like a heat policy and better accident prevention strategies, following reported incidents of heat stress and injuries on site. However, their tactics have done little to address these issues productively, instead escalating tensions and creating significant disruptions. Sending men in balaclavas and face masks to rallies and construction sites to intimidate people. In addition to safety claims, the CFMEU is pushing for an enterprise agreement that would impose additional costs across the supply chain. This includes a subcontractors clause designed to enforce higher pay and broader conditions, further inflating project costs. It might not even stop at 17 billion. The union is also seeking to replace the current agreement negotiated by the AWU with one of their own, despite the fact that the existing agreement already aligns with industry standards. The CFMEU's actions have repeatedly crossed the line, with violent confrontations breaking out as they attempt to block non-union workers from accessing job sites. Reports of union members photographing and filming individuals entering work sites with the apparent intention of intimidating workers or blacklisting contractors highlight a disturbing pattern of harassment. These aggressive tactics have forced CPB to seek legal remedies, including court orders to restrict CFMEU picketing and the unauthorised surveillance of workers. The union, predictably, has painted these measures as attempts to suppress legitimate activity, ignoring their own role in escalating hostilities. While global factors such as inflation and supply chain disruptions have contributed to rising construction costs, it's clear the CFMEU's relentless interference is exacerbating these issues. Their combative behaviour and excessive demands are not just harming projects like Cross River Rail, they're driving up costs and creating unnecessary delays across the entire industry. Can it be fixed? So the Cross River Rail is in a bit of a mess. Is there any way for it to get back on track and be available for passengers before 2029? I think it's going to be tough because all these agreements are already in place. They're going to be hard to untangle or renegotiate. I think this project has turned into a massive dumpster fire, and the only thing that will fix it is throwing more cash at it. Brent Mickelberg did not reveal how the government planned to pay for these unexpected cost blowouts, but he has committed to delivering the project well before the 2032 Olympics and said he would no longer be the minister if he failed to do so. And there's no doubt in my mind, the CFMEU is a big part of the problem. So things like David Crucifulli suspending BPIC on government construction projects, it's a great start. BPIC was crafted by the CFMEU, and estimates by the Queensland Treasury reported that project costs would increase by 25% by 2030, or the equivalent of up to $17.1 billion. But what do you think? Is the CFMEU to blame for these cost blowouts? Are you a union shill that wants to blast me? Are you disappointed that the Cross River Rail isn't going to pull into the station until 2029? Or are you worried the same is going to happen to the next big infrastructure project like the Bruce Highway upgrade? Let me know in the comments section down below. If you enjoyed this video, why not give it a like, and please consider subscribing if you like my content and you want to see more. I'd really appreciate the support. You might have also noticed that we've moved into a new studio and our wall behind us is looking a bit bare, so if you've got any ideas or if you've got any model tanks, airplanes, bridges, feel free to reach out to the team. That's it from me. I'm Pikos, and we've been talking tactics.